Keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful Tuesday. It is Tuesday morning. You know, what is it? The fourth day? Dang, it is the fourth day. The fourth day into the new year, into 2022. And let me tell you something, man. It has been a crazy one already. What else is new, though? You know what I mean? Like, you know, 2021 isn't done with us yet. There's still sitting here going, wait a second. We ain't done yet. We ain't done yet. We ain't done yet. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, we got a little bleed in from 2021. And we got a lot of stuff we got to talk about. We got some stuff to talk about, man. Some craziness that's been going down as usual. You know we wouldn't be on if nothing crazy's going on. If we don't have stories to tell y'all. Okay? So, before we get into everything, because we aren't here for a long time, but we're here for a good time. So please do us a favor and hit that like button down below. Don't forget to do that. Crush it, destroy it. You know what I mean? Make it scream out your damn name. Okay? Send those likes all the way up. And of course, do not forget to crush that subscribe button. It'd be really great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. We are marching towards 50,000 subscribers. So, hey, do us a favor. Just do a little tap, tap, tappy. A little tap, tap, taparoo. Okay? Like I said, there's a lot to talk about. We got a missing persons case that just dropped as of the past, 10, 12 hours. We have people snowed in on a highway. We got to talk about PA, if you know what I'm saying. Read the title down below because I can't really say his name apparently, or we get hit with, not getting monetized, unfortunately. And this is how I pay my bills. So, you know who I'm talking about. He was involved with the GM stuff as well. That woman, that piece of work, was found guilty on 5 of the 6 charges that she was facing. So, and then we got a viral video we got to check out because I just think it was interesting and pretty damn amazing. So we got a lot to look at and talk about today. Not a whole lot of time to do everything, so we're gonna squeeze as much as we can in. My brother David's in the house. What's up, man?
Hey man, not much here. Just a lot of snow laytly. It's pretty much all we've got for the past 5 days is more snow. But
yeah. I mean, I haven't talked to you in a minute because it's almost like you went off the grid. Funny because you live off the grid. But still, it's nice that you we're able to, get back on. Internet's up and running, you know what I'm saying? And you're doing your damn thing. So I'm glad you're in one piece. But so you had a white Christmas then.
Yeah, we ended up getting like well, some of it melted, but over the week we got like 7 feet of snow total. There was about 3 feet out at one point, so everything was covered in ice and frozen. My power was on, but my internet and everything was pretty bad for a while. But
what I find interesting is how you talk about 7 feet of snow like it ain't nothing. Like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Guys, he just said like, hey, we just had a couple feet of snow. No big deal.
I mean,
you know what I mean? Moving on. What?
Other than shoveling the sidewalk, it's mostly just an inconvenience. Well, because I have a Jeep, it's 4-wheel, so the snow doesn't bother me. It gets through everything just fine here.
You're used to it, basically. Yeah. 7 feet ain't nothing. For me, that's a whole lot of snow. Like, we had snow, but it was like a dust. You see what I'm saying? It was like a light. It was like a seasoning of snow. You know what I mean? You just see a little flakes here and there. You know what I mean? A gathering of snow here and there, but it was gone within seconds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Welcome to our world. Welcome to the Midwest. And welcome to climate change.
I had to spend like an hour just breaking into my shed because it was all frozen. It took me that long just to get into it for the tools I needed.
Man, see, I don't even know what tools you needed. Okay, I don't know what tools you needed, Dexter. but we don't need to get there into
Yeah.
that now, do we? I'm just playing. I'm just playing. You just don't kill me, okay? Um,
Not today.
I'm your friend. I'm your friend. But anyway, we got a lot to talk about, guys. We got a lot to go into. Speaking of snow, speaking of the craziness that's going on right now, as we speak, there is a highway that is completely shut down. People have been spent basically overnight stuck on a highway, I-95, and y'all, this is nuts. I got a news clip. We're gonna take a look at it a little bit at it, because we're not gonna look at the whole thing. It's a long clip, but literally, drivers are stranded right now on I-95 in Virginia, following this winter storm. This is crazy, y'all. Take a look at this.
Here on Live Now from Fox. It's something that our Fox 5 DC team is staying on top of. I do want to bring you a segment from them. Their very own reporter, Melanie Alnwick, actually speaking with a couple that was stuck on the interstate. Let's listen in here on Live Now from Fox.
Anytime now. Oh, wow. Profound commentary. Wow. Killing.
Awful backup along I-95.
That's right. Anthony
She has no idea what's going on.
Crystal Brown stuck in that backup yesterday. Let's take a look. I know Aaron has been showing you these live pictures as well of I-95. You know, also checking with Fairfax County, and the majority of the secondary roads in the county are said to have moderate impacts with ice and snow. But still some ice and snow on I-95 because of all those vehicles. They just can't get anywhere, and the plows can't get to them. So right now we want to get to Anthony. Anthony, let me just say, I am so appreciative, and our Fox 5 viewers are so appreciative that you are taking your time this morning to speak with us, because from what I understand, you finally got out of that car stuck on I-95. Where are you right now, and are you safe?
Yes, I'm at Stafford County Hospital, and yes, I am safe, but a little shooken up behind this whole situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I left.
My goodness. So
I left Richmond Hospital at 2 in the afternoon, and we have been stuck ever since then, going different places, trying to reroute to 110, and everything was stuck, and I just panicked. And they had to come get me. There was a guy named Ernesto and David from the Stafford County workers, and they picked us up and brought us to the hospital. And now I live in Fairfax City, and I don't know how I'm gonna get home. I got a puppy in the house, everything. It was just terrible out there.
Wow. That's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, for me, I mean, I don't know what's going. You know, obviously, I don't know what's going on with this gentleman and what it was like in there, and there's no way I would ever judge this man, but you know, for breaking down and being so emotionally distraught over being there. But myself, I'd be just pissed off. That's just me. I would just be pissed off. I'd be angry. I don't know. I wouldn't be. I'd be emotional for sure, but it wouldn't be tears streaming down my face. I'd just be angry as hell. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, that's just me though. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, what the, you know what I mean? Every single curse word you can think of, I'd be screaming. You know what I'm saying? But like, crazy. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, I was gonna say they were there for a long time. There's still some people, at least an hour ago. I'm not sure if of this moment if they're still there, but of an hour ago, there was still a large line that they're trying to clear out. And this happened. This happened yesterday. Basically, what happened was that people were just driving normally. There was a winter storm, which was expected, but it sounds like it came in harder and faster than they planned for. So people weren't quite prepared for it to come at the time it did. And what ended up happening was that hundreds of people got stuck after 6 tractor trailers ended up having there's no video of it, but they ended up having a crash of some sort that blocked down the road for a long time. And that's in addition to the ice, which was what caused the accident most likely. And so they've also, of course, had to wait for rescue vehicles and cleaning crews to actually get there, which takes a long time as it is because it's frozen and the whole highway's been backed up. So the highway's been backed up for, let's see, how many hours now exactly? About 18 hours now.
Oh, 18 now. Wow.
Yeah. And so it was all right. So it was 15 hours ago when this article was written, but this article is a little old. I did check; they're still locked out there. So they've been there that long, overnight. They didn't give a whole lot of details of the people who were stuck there, but they do have crews going up and down the highways, basically rescuing people from their vehicles that aren't able to, I guess, get somewhere safe. They don't say exactly why they're rescuing people from vehicles, but I have been stuck in something like this, but only for 2 hours, mind you. And they did it, like people without enough gas and people without heat ended up getting pulled off the highway, like leaving their cars there and taken elsewhere. I myself had to drive to just the regular store and take my dogs in to stay warm. So that's likely what's happening here is that people are running out of gas and people who don't have heat or good enough heat are freezing. And they also have this additional problem that there's no power in the area. I think it just got restored this about an hour ago. But before we started, before me and Pascal started talking about this, they still had 280,000 customers without power, and they were in the process of restoring that. So they still don't know when we're going to be getting these people off of I-95. They don't even have a guess, and this is from an hour ago. They still don't have a guess of when they're going to get people off of the highway, but they're still stuck there. So this is going to go on for a while. Hopefully, everyone that doesn't have gas or heat is able to get somewhere safe. But just because of the length of this for 18 hours, obviously, if someone has children or pets or like a puppy at home, they do need to find some way to take care of them, and that is a concern for a lot of people that have been stuck in there for most of a day now.
Yeah, I mean, it is terrifying to think that, sorry, that you would go there, you're thinking that you're going to drive, everything's going to be okay, everything's going to be Gucci, and then all of a sudden, you just, bang, you're just stuck, and you can't do anything. You got nowhere you could go. There's nothing you can do. I mean, that's a terrifying thought. It's not like you can dig yourself out of the situation, right? So the thought of this is just terrifying to think that something like this would happen to any person. But me, and thank you for that added information, David. But me, I would just be pissed. I would just be screaming at everybody, not screaming, but I would just be pissed. Just me, and trying to find some way of getting out, right? Because there's that terrifying thought, right? If you're stuck on there and you are driving your car, right? It's not like your car could just, depending on how much gas you have in the car, right? And all that. I mean, can your car run that long, right? Then also you got to think about the elements of the temperature, how cold it is out there, all that stuff. You need the car on so that you can stay warm, right? So all that and more would be terrifying. Then eating, of course, just being able to use the restroom, so on and so forth, right? That's a scary, scary thought, right? So I give those people mad love and respect for them to being able to brave through this and get through this situation. Because like I said, it's a scary thing. You know what I mean? It's a scary thought. You know what I mean? But I see that. So first off, I want to make sure I already changed the title. I just want to make that abundantly clear. All right. I want to make that abundantly clear. It was a mistake, a small little typo on my end. All right. So that has been fixed. All right. Before people start coming after the show and all that stuff, it was a mistake. It's just a typo. It got fixed. Everything's back up and normal. It happens. Okay, guys. But I appreciate you guys who were making sure that I got the information that I needed And so we're going to continue on with the show. Okay. And please be respectful in the comments. Please be kind to each other. Okay. Because there's a lot to talk about. And we got better things to do than to argue with each other and be rude to each other over typos. Okay. So anyway, moving on. I am happy that at least the traffic is starting to move again. You know what I mean? At least it's going to start moving, right? But I can only imagine, like I said, how terrible it is for any person to be in there. Yeah, it's a terrifying experience, right? It's terrifying because you don't think, how am I going to survive this, right? How am I going to get through this, right? Especially if you've been on there for 18 hours. Like I said, unless you have a full tank of gas. I mean, I don't know how long a car can run, right? Run by itself without running out of gas. You see what I'm saying? Or until it runs out of gas. I've always wondered that. If you just put the car in park, have the car running, the motor running and everything, how many hours would it take for it to burn all of its gas? That's one thing I've always wondered. But like I said, it's a terrifying thought to be stuck in just a snow abyss, right? With nowhere to go, right? So thank God everybody's okay and things are finally starting to move at least. But it looks like it's still slowly creeping by right now. You're gonna say
it looks like about 33 miles of gas is lost from idling for an hour. So roughly a gallon of gas, I would guess roughly an hour or so, depending on what. I assume it takes more if you have your heat on a little bit since it's running through the coolant, but I don't know. So, but yeah, so you could run out for sure. It says after 30 hours with a full tank, you will run out. So
okay,
they're getting there.
If you had a full tank,
yes.
So a full tank, okay, you can do 30 hours, and they've been there. Some people have been there for 18 hours. Look at that dude. He's in shorts and sneaker, like straight up. Some people, like I said, you never know how people travel. Some people travel like practically naked. You know what I'm saying? In the most comfortable clothing as possible. So imagine if you're sitting there going, just imagine you're going, I need to get to that next exit so I can get gas because I'm almost done. You know what I mean? I'm almost out of gas, right? And you are literally, before you hit that exit, you get stuck in this. And you say, maybe you have a quarter of a tank left. You're not going to last. The car's not going to last in this kind of situation. You're going to have to get real chummy with somebody on that highway, on that interstate. Real talk. It's a terrifying thought. Excuse me. Absolutely terrifying thought. So I'm glad everybody's starting to, the cars are starting to move. At least things are starting to move and hopefully everyone is okay, right? No one's froze to death or anything like that, because you never know. Like I said, some of these cars are probably just completely out of gas right now. So hopefully the people over there are doing whatever they can to be good to each other and help each other out. Real talk. But moving on, we got to move on to our next story, of course. And of course, like I said, I apologize for the wrong first name. That was not intentional. It was a mistake. But we do have to get into this story about Harmony Montgomery, a 7-year-old that was missing, that has just recently been reported missing when she's been missing for 2 years. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either, but we're going to go through it. We're going to get into it, y'all. 1 second. Let me get this stuff here. We got a couple news articles. We got a news clip as well. So we're going to go into some stuff. Like I said, we're going to get into it today. Now, the thing is that Harmony Montgomery was 5 years old when she went missing. This was 2 years ago. Okay, so she was 5 years old, but right now she is 7 years old. All right, or she would be 7 years old. God willing, she is still okay and she is still alive, but we don't know yet. Okay, and according to the Washington Post, a 7-year-old girl disappears in 2019. Police say they learned about this last week. I'm not kidding. Okay? The last time anyone reported seeing 7-year-old Harmony Montgomery was October 1st, 2019, more than 2 years before police say they learned she had disappeared from a home in southern New Hampshire. Officers say Harmony that day, while responding to a call for service, officers saw Harmony that day while responding to a call for service. Manchester Police Chief Alan Aldenberg said Friday. They got a report early that last week that she had gone missing amid circumstances that Aldenberg called very concerning. I wonder what those concerning things are. I know people are going to say, well, here it is, 2021, almost 2022, and nobody's seen this girl since late of October 2019. So what's happened in the last 2 years? Fair question, Aldenberg told reporters last week. That's why I'm here today, because we need assistance, we need help, and we don't have many answers to many questions that we have. Manchester is offering a $2,500 reward for information leading to Harmony's recovery. And police are accepting tips on at this phone number 603-203-6060. Local business executives are offering an additional $10,000 reward. That's a lot of money, y'all. So if you guys have any information, here's the number one more time, 603-203-6060. All right. Police over the weekend visited the home on the city west side where Aldenberg said Harmony was last seen. The current homeowner is unrelated to the case, he said. Interesting. Aldenberg shared, so they must have moved. I'm assuming. Okay. Aldenberg shared a few other details about Harmony's vanishing, including the circumstances of the officers' visit at the home in 2019. Police have spoken with some of her family members since she was reported missing, and despite doing so, are concerned for the whereabouts of her. Okay, so now this is the thing. If this little girl was missing 2 years ago, and they just recently reported her missing, she's been missing 2 years. Wouldn't they be concerned about her whereabouts like 2 years ago? Just saying, does that make sense?
Not really. I do
No.
have this one thing from our uncle.
Hold on one second, because we do have that article. I do have that article, so we're going to get into that here in a second. He said Harmony was last enrolled in school in Massachusetts. Now, of course, we already know statistics about how many people that have been missing. About 1/3 of 90,000 people that are reported missing are juveniles. Most missing children reported to the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children in 2020 had run away. That organization says, with many fewer taken by family members, abducted by strangers, or missing under other circumstances. Now, here's the thing. I don't get this part. Police have spoken with some of her family members since she was reported missing. And by the way, I'm going to repeat this again. I'm going to bury this bone even deeper into the dirt. Okay, so that all y'all in the nosebleed seats understand this. They just reported her missing last week. So, and despite doing so, are concerned for the whereabouts of her. Like I said, if she's been gone for 2 years, why wasn't there a report of her missing 2 years ago? Why are they suddenly concerned about her whereabouts now? That's the part that doesn't make sense. 2 years she's been gone. They finally reported her, and now they're going, "Where's my baby?" That doesn't make sense. Harmony spent much of her early life in foster care in Massachusetts, where she looked out for her younger brother, Jameson, said Blair Miller, the boy's father, and a DC based reporter for Cox Media Group. By the time Miller adopted Jameson in 2019, he said state officials, told him that Harmony had been reunited with her father. Okay. Despite the sibling separation, Jameson often talks about his sister, and recently said that a girl at a park reminded him of her. Although Miller and his husband have frequently asked Jameson's mother, Crystal Sorey, if they could connect with Harmony, Miller said she has always responded that Harmony was in her father's custody in New Hampshire. Sorey, hopefully I'm pronouncing her last name correctly, often seemed worried about her daughter and frequently said she could not reach her, Miller said. He said he and his husband recently made their effort to reach Harmony's father through social media, but did not hear back. Miller said his family had not given up on reuniting Jameson and his sister. We even still get Christmas gifts for her and stuff, Miller said. We're holding on to the ones that we have right now because it's that important for us to have that relationship. You know, let me continue here. It just still doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, this, and I understand the married couple, the fathers, the adopted fathers of Jameson wanted to reunite Jameson with her sister and all that. But you go out there, you send out emails, you try to reach out, so on and so forth, basically saying, hey, we want to reunite these two. Be great for them to have that kind of connection, so on and so forth. And then they still say no. They still hear nothing. It just doesn't make sense to me. Manchester Mayor Joyce Craig's office received an email last week expressing concern about Harmony and the State Division for Children, Youth, and Families. According to Lauren Smith, the mayor's chief of staff, she said her office responded and sent the information it received to Manchester police. No Amber Alert is in effect for Harmony's disappearance because police don't have enough information about who she may be with or a vehicle that she may be in. This is what Aldenberg said on Friday. New Hampshire guidelines direct police to issue Amber Alerts only when they suspect that a child has been abducted by a stranger or by a parent who is showing signs that they intend to harm the child. Manchester police have discussed the case with the FBI, which is not investigating. The New Hampshire Department of Health and Human Services, which oversees the Division for Children and Families, declined to answer any questions about this case. Harmony is described as a white, 4 foot tall and 50-pound girl with blonde hair, blue eyes, and glasses. She is blind in her right eye. Although more than 2 years have passed since Harmony disappeared, Aldenberg said his department is operating under the assumption that she is still alive. He says right here, I'm in rescue mode right now. This is not a recovery. All efforts are focused on that Harmony is alive, and we are going to do everything that we can to find her in that condition. And this is just on this article alone. Obviously, there's more information out here. David's got a piece as well, which I'm going to pull up here as well. It's I guess some news and a little bit of information from the uncle and hearing his perspective. But still, this young girl, Harmony, is gone. She's been gone for 2 years. She's just been reported missing. Why aren't the parents, let's just say the adoptive parents of Harmony, why are they not brought in for questioning? Why are they not locked up? Right? Why is this a mystery right now? They should be bringing these people in like crazy, right? And sitting them down and interrogating them until they squawk. But apparently, that's not the case. It looks like Aldenberg has got his hands up in the air and just basically saying, I'm hoping that we find her, but this is what we got so far. Where are the parents at, y'all? Where are the parents? David.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, it seems like there have been warnings about what might be happening here in the past. One of the last things the Daily Mail, or the Daily Beast, sorry, did an investigative report into this. So they're the ones that actually went and spoke with the uncle, though his claims, some of them are on record as well. But they ended up speaking to the uncle of the girl, Kevin Montgomery, a great uncle. And he said that the last time he saw Harmony, she looked like a scared puppy. And he said that she looked this way during a contentious situation at the house that Montgomery shared with several other family members, including Harmony and her parents. In October 2019, there was basically kind of a pushing fight at the front door, and the police were called and ended up coming to divide the family. Montgomery said that the incident prompted his nephew, Harmony's father, to stop all communications with the other family members, including blocking them on social media. He goes on to say, then the pandemic hit, and I just assumed Harmony and that side of the family was okay. I was worried, of course, but assumed everything was okay because I had not heard anything. And he told the Daily Beast this on Monday. New Hampshire authorities, pretty much what you've already said, they haven't seen her in a long time. They put out a missing child poster, which is here, and I also sent it to you over private chat.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah. So the mayor's chief of staff also spoke with the Daily Beast and said that primarily regarding concerns with the New Hampshire Division for Children, Youth, and Families in connection to Harmony, they simply just would not provide the details that the Daily Beast was asking for, basically. So the mayor does not seem... Well, the mayor, we don't know what the mayor's doing with the police, but as far as reporters are going, he's not talking as much as he could. However, the police chief, Alan Aldenberg, I don't know if you already said this one, but he says that for us to have a 2-year delay, that is extremely concerning. That's not something that happens to us on a regular basis. It doesn't happen every day. And in fact, they go on to say that basically they've never had a case like this. So despite this reward and these early warnings, they just don't have any information right now. Like Pascal said, they're still hoping to find the girl and save her, but they just don't have the information. Montgomery told the Daily Beast that Sori met with authorities today for a polygraph and DNA test, and today would have been actually yesterday, so that would have been on Monday. They would have gone in for this polygraph test. We don't have the results from that polygraph test yet, but it just kind of seems like she slipped through the cracks, that nobody was paying attention to her. According to the uncle, just because of the restrictions in communication during this whole big thing with everyone getting sick, he wasn't able to keep track of her at that point. And it does sound like there wasn't great communication between the family to begin with. And there was already violence within the family. Not too severe, but I mean, this was a case of violence to begin with. So we don't have a whole lot of information. He's really the only one that we've got additional details from. Obviously, the parents are pretty suspect in this one, more than most people, because they never reported it, and they're the ones that are supposed to keep track of her. So all we know is that, according to the uncle, she was afraid and that he thought something was wrong, and that there was this dispute at the front door over who was allowed in and not. So we don't have all the relevant details, but we do know, because it is confirmed by the police reports, that this incident did happen. So at least that part of the story is true. And if he's saying she's scared, and the rest of the story checks out, he was probably telling the truth on that part as well. But that's really all we've got. Is he's the only one that's really provided any additional information other than we don't know where she is.
Right.
And unfortunately, it kind of plays into the fear that the parents are involved. Though also, I don't see how this could have gone down without the involvement of her, caretakers, because it's been 2 years and they didn't report it once.
Yeah, not once. And that's the thing. The uncle is basically saying, because Dull Knife said, how long has it been since they've seen Harmony in this comment? Thank you so much for the comment. They haven't seen they have not physically seen her in 2 years. So the last time they saw her was in October of 2019. And it says it right here. The like what David beautifully read earlier. The last time Kevin Montgomery says he saw his great niece, Harmony, he said she looked like a scared puppy. And of course, she was 5 years old at that time. And this incident that he's talking about, that he's referring to, happened October 19th, October 1st of 2019. That's what I was trying to say. So no one said anything. No one has said anything at all about the whereabouts of this girl. No one has filed a missing persons report 2 years ago in October, because that would have been the prime time to do that, right? And now they last week issued a missing persons report. Now the question is, who filed the missing persons report? Who's the one who actually went ahead and said this girl is missing? Was it Harmony's adoptive mother? Or was it somebody completely different? What caused them to sit there and say, okay, bang, she is officially missing now? And why did it take 2 years? Sorry, not 10, but 2. Why did it take 2 years to say that this little girl was missing, or is missing, or has been missing? That's the part that doesn't make sense to me.
I don't have the answer for that. The only thing the police have said is that they received the report 3 days ago, basically, about her missing. They do not say who sent the report.
What did they send it in snail mail? Like, what? How was this report sent to them? You know what I'm saying? Did they send it? Did they send it on like through an email on dial-up? You know what I'm saying? Like, they use it like old school, like AOL account, like some AIM messenger or some ish. Like, what did they send it tied to a dove? You know what I'm saying? Like, did they tie it to a bird and just say fly and figure it out? And then eventually 2 years later, it finally delivered to the front steps of the police department? That doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't make any sense. Well over 2 years, y'all. Well over 2 years this girl's been gone, and no one said anything for 2 years? Mims, make it make sense. Hashtag Mims, make it make sense. This don't make no sense. The math ain't mathin', y'all, to me. They should be absolutely. They need to bring that the mother in. Sorry, what's her first name? I feel terrible. What's her first name? The mother, the adopted mother.
Chris Renee Sorry.
Yes, Chris Renee Sorry. Right? You got Chris Renee Sorry. yes, of course, she's being brought in for a polygraph and DNAs and all that stuff. But at the same time, like, bruh, you're telling me she's been out here. This girl's been out here wherever she is, and not once. This is a 5-year-old girl, by the way, at the time. Imagine this. She's 5. It's not like this is a kid that just ran off and started, oh, I'm going to go bike, I'm going to go bike down the road. And where's my kid? The lights, the street lamps are on. She knows the rules. This is a 5-year-old girl. This is somebody who's attached at your hip. Everywhere you go, you are with that 5-year-old girl, with that 5-year-old. She's 5. How can you sit there and turn around and go, she's not attached to my hip? Oh, she's probably climbing trees somewhere outside, probably building a fort. She's 5. How would she be able to do that? You see what I'm saying, guys?
Mm-hmm.
This does not work. This does not work for me. The math ain't mathing. David.
And so the one other piece of information, so this is definitely from her cousin. That part's been verified. However, if the police have looked into this, we don't know. The police have investigated or talked to a lot of the family. They just haven't released that information yet. But her cousin, Harmony's cousin, on social media stated that she was known, and this is a quote, known to be in the custody of her father. And that's what her cousin claimed. It is. So the Daily Beast, it looks like they were able to confirm that it's her cousin. However, as far as I can tell, the police still haven't released who they've talked to or what about. So we don't know if the police are actually talking to her right now. But there is that social media post from someone who does appear to be her cousin. And said that that's where the information that she appears to be in the custody of her father came from. However, of course, no one has seen her for 2 years. And of course, Sori, the mother, has also posted stuff saying that she's going to come find Harmony and I will never let you go, along with photos of the girl. But
wait, I'm sorry. Who said that she would never let her go?
Sori, the mother.
And that's a lie. Come on.
Yeah. And
test results came back, and that is a lie.
Well, the polygraph did happen last night, so we will see if they release it, or we'll see it at the trial, one way or the other, I imagine.
Unbelievable.
Unfortunately, the uncle admits he doesn't think they're going to see her alive again, and that's concerning because he's the one who most likely knows the family and the people involved, even if he doesn't know who it is. And so Montgomery also told the Daily Beast that he called one of the basically a child care facility on Harmony's behalf after he saw that she had a black eye, but he said that nothing happened. And 3 months later is when 3 months later, he says he called the police to the house where his nephew, Harmony's father, was, and the family lived. And this is the dispute, the kind of pushing fight that we discussed. So that's the last time he saw her. But before that, he saw her with a black eye as well. And the time he saw her later at the pushing fight, that's when he said that she was scared. And he also claimed that during this intense and chaotic situation that she was very quiet and not saying much. And, she just looked scared, like you were saying before. But that's all we've got. Presumably the police who who have talked to the mother, we know they've talked to the mother, and we know she's been before a polygraph. And the lead detective has also said that he's spoken to most of the family members. We don't know what that means because they haven't released the names. But the only one we know for sure that includes is the mother. Other than that, we don't have the information, but I assume they're just talking to everybody in the main family. They're looking for the father and everyone. Hopefully we get this information soon. I'm sure this polygraph will be a big part of it. The big thing is, if we don't find out what happened to her, I'm not sure if there will be a trial. Hopefully they do rescue her. I'm not optimistic, but I hope they do find her and rescue her. But the people that were taking care of her don't know where she is, and that's not a great sign. And honestly, if she is harmed in some way, this investigation is most likely going to find the culprit by looking within the family, because that seems to be the only people involved, and no one in the family whatsoever is suggesting that someone outside of the family was involved, which is a key point here that I kind of want to stress. No one is pointing to a possibility that someone outside of the family did this. They're all pointing fingers at each other, and yeah, it's just a bad situation. And I hope we find out what happened to her, but
Yeah.
I'm not confident.
I'll say this, though, too. It's clearly within the family. Because here's the thing, and it probably was by the hands of the mother. And I hate to go straight for that, but it probably is Chris Renee, unless, I don't know. Like, if there was already signs of physical abuse going on already, right? If there's the black eye situation, if she looked terrified and all that stuff, I mean, who's to say that, say, somebody who was abusing or beating her took it a step too far, and then next thing you know, she's no longer on this planet, she's no longer alive, so then they do whatever they can to discard the body. I mean, this is the same thing. Like, this makes me think of Summer Wells, the Summer Wells situation. There's another one that I'm going to be talking about hopefully later on today or tomorrow, about another young girl, another baby, basically, that's been missing for just about the same amount of time. And it's finally been reported missing just recently as well. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And the fact that these people, like, if they're adoptive parents or if they're biological parents, they're not being brought in. The parental units aren't being brought in and being just drilled till they can't talk anymore, right? They get drilled until they actually speak the truth, right? You got a child, a 5-year-old girl that was gone, that disappeared. And then 2 years later, now there is a missing persons report. As soon as a parent does that, as soon as that there is a family member that does that, you are bringing every single person in, and you are just, like I said, you are locking them up until they talk, until they actually tell the truth. Because like I said, this does not make sense to me. And the fact that the mother, the adopted mother, even the father, who, that allegedly this child was in his possession and all that stuff, right? He had custody of her and all that stuff in Massachusetts and whatnot. If that really is true, then you arrest every single last one of those family members and you get down to the nitty gritty. You do your due diligence and you make their lives a living hell until they speak. That's it. 2 years and a girl's been missing and no one said nothing? Y'all should be arrested for just that. Negligence. What is it? Child endangerment. I mean, shoot, you name it. I mean, those are all the things. You didn't say nothing? Come on now. I got a news clip, though. We gonna keep going. You know what I mean? This kind of stuff just boils my blood. Real talk. You telling me that's okay? Come on, man. Come on, y'all. How does that work? How does that work?
Tonight in New Hampshire and really across the country, people are asking why it took 2 years for a little girl to be reported missing. 2 years before we knew about this case. The chief of police among those asking that question. But tonight, no answers, no arrests, and no sign of Harmony Montgomery. News Nation's Marky Martin joining us live tonight with the very latest on this case and what we have learned new today and in the last few hours. Marky.
Hey, good evening, Marty. Police remaining pretty tight-lipped on this case, but did reveal today, earlier this afternoon, that authorities in the past, including Family Services, has visited the home of Harmony Montgomery in the past, but didn't say which family member the now 7-year-old was supposed to be living with. The police chief today, during a press conference, just saying right now the main focus of this investigation is gathering any and all information that leads to her return.
Okay, real quick. I'm going to roll that back one more time. There was so much that she said in those 30 seconds that she said. Let me roll it back one more time. Just humor me for a second, okay? Great, bless me with this time because we're going to break down what she just said. Mims.
Today and in the last few hours, Marky.
Hey, good evening, Marnito. Police remaining pretty tight-lipped on this case, but did reveal today, earlier this afternoon, that authorities in the past, including family services, has visited the home of Harmony Montgomery in the past, but didn't say which family member the now 7-year-old was supposed to be living with.
Okay. That's a big piece of information right there. So you got CPS going in, checking out the household, the family, all that stuff, but they don't know, they weren't talking to the right people. They don't know who the person that they were talking to. They also don't know who is supposed to have custody of this child. Right? I mean, this is what I'm gathering.
The police chief today during a press conference just saying right now the main focus of this investigation is gathering any and all information that leads to her return.
Forget all that confusion. What we really need to know is get down to the nitty-gritty of finding this girl. Okay, maybe that piece of information could be very helpful, right? Maybe that information that she said in the very beginning, Marky Martin and the Funky Bunch, right? What she just said a second ago. No offense. Sorry. No offense. Just made me think of good vibrations. Anyway, you got a little bit of confusion right there, right? Of who's and what's it's and what does and doohickeys and whatevers, right? That piece of information is pretty important, but at the same time, still does not change the fact that it's 2 years. No matter what, I mean, if you are a concerning, caring individual where you had a 5-year-old bless you with their love and innocence and joy, right? And say you relinquish custody to, say, the father, the biological father, wouldn't you check up on the child? Wouldn't you want to be like, hey, how's the kid doing? Blah, blah, blah. Right? You don't wait 2 years and then suddenly go, wait, you haven't seen her? Oh my gosh. I'm filing a missing persons report. Just in that confusion alone, how do you go from, passing back and forth the custody of a child to not hearing about said child for 2 years? 2 years, y'all. Almost you know what I'm saying? Work that out and make that make sense for me. Because it doesn't work for me at all.
I'm appealing to everyone. Help us find this little girl.
The little girl is Harmony Montgomery of Manchester, New Hampshire. She was last seen in October 2019, 2 years ago, but was just reported missing to police last Friday when they got a call from the Division of Youth and Family Services.
I'm not getting into the specifics of where she should have been or who she should have been with, other than to tell you that where she should have been and who she should have been with, she's not with those people and she's not at that location.
Investigators not disclosing much more than that they're interviewing family members and hoping these photos from 2 years ago will help bring Harmony home. On Twitter, a woman claiming to be Harmony's mother says the girl was last with her father and begging for help finding her daughter. On Sunday, police searched a home in Manchester, which reportedly used to belong to the father's family. Tax records show it was foreclosed the summer of 2019. The new owner was cleared after cooperating with police in hopes of finding any clues as to what happened to the little girl and if she's still alive.
I'm in rescue mode right now. All right. This is not a recovery. All efforts are focused on that Harmony is alive.
These photos, the most recent anyone has, are 2 years old. Harmony is now 7 and has a vision issue requiring glasses. Even hardened investigators turning emotional, talking about such a strange case.
It's a 7-year-old girl. Somewhere out there, this little girl is, in need of help.
Yeah, this is a case that is gaining a lot of traction. I'll tell you this, too. At this point in the case, the FBI has been briefed on it. They're standing by, but they have not been called in to assist just yet. Right now, it's about 30 to 35 detectives working round the clock on this case. As of today, that reward money for finding her has reached almost $13,000. And Marnie, at this point, an Amber Alert has not been issued for Harmony.
You know, I really do hope that they find this little girl. I do. I really do. But it's been 2 years. And it's been 2 years since anybody has said anything. God knows where this little girl is. But I'm hoping that with us talking about it here, talking about it on this show, that maybe we'll be able to help the people in New Hampshire in finding this little girl. But still, to me, that just does not work for me. And just I'm trying to piece out in my own mind is that you have a little girl that went missing for, just a day. Shoot, not even a day. An hour. As a parent or as a person that loves or cares about another individual, wouldn't you do everything in your power to find them? Wouldn't you be knocking down every single door? Wouldn't you be instantly calling the police? And I know that they'll all sit there and say, oh, there's got to be a certain amount of time before you can actually file a missing persons report and so on and so forth. Fine. But still, you would do everything you can, everything in your power to bring that child back home safely. Why does it take somebody 2 years to get out of their armchair, go down to the police department, and file a missing persons report? This is the piece where I want to know what the mother, the adopted mother is thinking, what the biological father is thinking, where their heads are at, and why aren't they all being brought in for questioning and being locked in there for a while? Especially the father, too. Yeah, they're bringing in the Chris Renee Sori for her DNA and a polygraph, but that's not enough. If there's any way that they can get a hold of the father, they should be doing that. They need to bring that mother lover in as quickly as they bloody can. Because that guy could actually have the facts. He could have all the most important information on the whereabouts of where this little girl is. Like I said, again, 2 years ago, a 5-year-old girl by the name of Harmony Montgomery went missing, and they just filed a missing persons report last week. Let that seed just grow in your brain. Let that just marinate all the way down to the plums. And you tell me if any of that makes sense to you. Anyway, we got to go into the next story. Don't have a whole lot of time, but we got a lot of stuff to talk about. All right. We got to talk about this. And I'm trying to find ways to say this, because this part of the show is going to be sticky. Okay? So I'm going to say this. We're going to be using PA, okay, for the name of, he is a royal. He is part of the royal family, and he is in a lot of trouble. So PA. GM, we already know she was found guilty, right? Last week. She was found guilty last week of 5 of the 6 counts of STing, okay, that she was involved in with another person that I'm not going to say his name. So we have to be very, very careful. It's so frustrating. I want to say these words, but I can't. But you know how it is. So, David, these are the guidelines for today. We're going to try it out. We're going to experiment. Okay. We're going to try see if it works. I'm going to flip up. I'm going to slip up. I already know. But here it is. You have PA that is involved. He has made some claims that have made no sense, which we are going to get into, which I think is hilarious, by the way. But now there's some more information with PA. PA could very well see the inside of a courthouse. Now, David's got a little bit of the story, and then I got a little bit of a backstory, but I want to get to the main meat and potatoes right now. What's going on, David?
All right. So the biggest thing right now is coming from one of the victims, Virginia Giuffre. And so basically, there was a court document released from New York that reveals the guy
PA?
E or JE, I guess.
Oh, JE, yeah.
Say his name? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, JE. Yeah.
All right. So okay, so allegedly PA was hanging out with JE and, doing all the illegal things that he was doing. And since then, Miss Giuffre is suing the Duke of York in a civil case for allegedly assaulting her during those cases 20 years ago, roughly, when she was underage, a teenager. The document is released ahead of a hearing on Tuesday, which will involve Prince Andrew, though there's still...
Got him.
Yeah. Well,
PA.
Yeah. PA. So basically, he will be coming. Well, he's supposed to be coming to court on Tuesday. However, his mother is paying his legal fees, and Windsor Castle is doing what it can to kind of get him out of this. So, I mean, that's not surprising that his mother is on his side, but that is a lot of money and power that are coming his way to kind of try to keep him clear here. Though the settlement does not mention PA by name in the 2009 deal, it's specifically the 2009 deal that does not allow her to name him in public. She was only allowed to refer to him as a potential defendant. However, they're now looking at taking this to court as more pressure comes from the law basically the law-minded parts of the British government versus the more royal-minded parts who are trying to protect him to a degree. I mean, especially his mother. They are his family, blood family. That is how it works. So they are defending him, whereas the court systems are really trying to take him to account for what he's done or what he's possibly done at this point. So in this document, they claim that in addition to being continued, and this is a reference to Miss Giuffre, they say that in addition to being continually exploited to satisfy the defendant's every sexual whim, she also was required to be sexually exploited by defendants' adult male peers, including royalty, politicians, academicians, businessmen, and other professional and personal acquaintances. Though the case never went to trial, the settlement, which was the $500,000 check you may remember that went to her, was the one that was supposed to make this confidential. So it's the JE settlement with her over $500,000 that is actually protecting the name of these royals and presumably PA. In the document, they also pretty much go on to refer to Ms. Giuffre, and she agreed to release, acquit, satisfy, and forever discharge JE and any other persons or entities who could have been included as a potential defendant. So ultimately, just to kind of break it down to the shortest way possible, basically these documents are coming from Giuffre, and Giuffre previously was paid $500,000 by JE to never talk about what happened to her. And it explicitly mentions the royals, that she cannot mention the royals, and that she cannot mention politicians, which a royal would also be, I suppose, to a degree as a politician. So this is basically where we're at. I just made it short there, so it's a little easier to understand. Basically, because of a previous still, the alleged victim cannot name her the people who made her the victim because of this agreement with JE over $500,000, even, and it's still binding, even though he allegedly committed suicide. And this is basically the situation now. So the courts are trying to take him into on Tuesday, and it looks like it's going to be happening that he will at least have the hearing there. Opinion pieces from The Guardian and other British news sources seem to think that Windsor Castle and PA's family will continue to support him. They've already financially supported him, and he's been seen at Windsor Castle, presumably consulting with his family members, the other royals, over in the lead up to this. So what we're seeing now is a lot more of the press is coming down on PA, which is somewhat unusual. We might hear it more in America of these kind of anti-royal feelings and stuff. However, within Britain, generally speaking, based on statistics, people do support or at least approve of the royal family, generally speaking. That's not talking about this specific case.
Right.
However, this very specific case, is getting a lot more attention from people who would generally be considered to be pro-royal British individuals. So I think that's why this is getting so much attention. More and more people are starting, including people within the legal departments, are starting to want to push for this hearing. And I guess you could kind of compare this to the fact that Ivanka and Donald Trump Jr. have a subpoena that they say they're not going to go to. I mean, this is kind of a similar situation where it's suggested that he's not going to be showing up, but most likely he's going to be, because everything's kind of crashing down at this point.
Right.
And either the Windsor Castle is going to have to address this, or people are just going to continue to get angrier and investigate on their own. And that's what we're seeing right now, is there's kind of a grassroots movement for the investigation into Prince Andrew more than a royal imperative to investigate him.
Yeah. Excuse me. I just really hope that they do whatever they need to do to bring this man to justice, or whatever, bring the truth out here. Because just because you have deep pockets doesn't mean that you can finesse your way out of stuff like this. Heinous crimes that you were involved in. Allegedly. We'll just say allegedly, right? But this man, PA, still to this day, says he's never met this woman, Giuffre. PA ain't never met Giuffre. Ain't no way that they met. Okay? Real talk. Yet there are photos of them together. And of course, she has graphic details of certain things that she's experienced with PA and all that. And yet he still says over and over and over again, I never met this woman, which is very interesting because they, you look at stuff and you see some photos and you just see things and you're going, okay, so they ain't never met, yet they did. I'm going to show you guys the photo because why not, right? But they sit there all day swearing up and down. He is on in this infamous interview that he had 2 years ago. And he says, I never met this woman. Yet, okay, well, it's right there. It's right there. You tell me if they've never met. There's a much wide, like that's a zoomed in photo, but there's a much wider version of the photo where his hands are around her waist and all that. He's real chummy with her. Oh, let me put my hand around your waist. Yes, love. Oh, I never met her. I don't know. Yeah, you met her. You're in this dang photo with her, man. And also, just so you know, homegirl, okay, GM, general manager, okay, is over here on the side, right over here, off to the right of the photo. Bruh, come on. You cannot tell me, oh no, I never met her. No, you met her, man. There's no way that you could look at that. You have your body to body, okay? You can't sit there and say, "Oh, I never met her, man. I didn't know." You're not gonna be able to get away with this like OJ kind of thing. You know what I mean? Where it's like, if it don't fit, you must have quit. You can't say that you never met her when there's actual physical evidence of you actually meeting her, and in the same room, to add insult to injury, to throw some Tabasco sauce into this open, disgusting wound. GM is in the room too. As Jay Renee just said, yes, beautifully said, caught in 4K. Or back then it was probably caught in Polaroid in standard def. But yeah. Hold up. Let me see if I can find the wide shot. Yeah, there it is. Oh, in all of its glory. Oh, won't they do it? People out here just exposing the damn truth. And I'm just saying, y'all, does it work for you? Here's the other one, skadoosh. And he says, oh, no. Oh, word. No. Never met her. Who, what's her name? I never met her. No. My word. And there he is. You in trouble, PA. You's in trouble, and I can't wait for you to just go down. I'm just saying. He said something about him not being able to sweat. That was amazing. Because there's a story. Oh, my God. Oh, my word. There's a story out here where she's giving details about, being with him and meeting him, and how he was sweating profusely all over her, right? Just sweat dripping all over her and stuff like that. And he goes, oh, no, I don't. I have a medical condition where I can't sweat. Okay. Hold on. I got a few things. I got a few things to pull up here, y'all. Like, the things people will say, oh, I have a medical condition because I can't sweat. Yes. So here it is. Prince Andrew accuser demands proof that he's unable to sweat. I'm sorry. There's the photo again. But they never met, though, right? They never met. There's his hand right there. There's his hand. Yeah. There's GM chilling in the cut, making an arrangement happen. You see what I'm saying? Making an arrangement happen. Okay? Man, I can't believe that somebody could get away with, I just never met her. I don't know. Never met her. Then you have a photo. Right here. No, still haven't met her. I don't know who that is. I never met her. Never met the girl. Never met the lady. So, Prince Andrew's accuser, Virginia Giuffre, is demanding he hand over medical records that show he was unable to sweat after he previously claimed the alleged condition was proof he did not take advantage of her, court documents reveal. Giuffre's lawyers have requested all documents. Yeah, well, I would want to see the Carfax too. I'd be like, yo, show me everything, all documents related to the embattled royal's alleged medical condition of anhydrosis, hypohidrosis, or the inability to sweat. Now, here's the thing. I thought hypohidrosis means you sweat profusely. like, sweaty palms. People who have like really, really sweaty palms. Some people got that. Some people, it's called hyperhidrosis, right? So anhydrosis, I guess, is the one that he's pertaining to, right? And the inability to sweat. Court documents filed in Manhattan on Thursday reveal the request is part of Giuffre's civil lawsuit against the Duke of York, which alleges he took advantage of her when she was 17 after being taken to him by J.E. and G.M., the general manager. General Motors. Let's just say that. Giuffre has previously claimed PA, you almost got me, bedded her after a sweaty night of dancing and drinking in a London club in 2001. But PA later insisted that wasn't true. He told the BBC in a train wreck of an interview in 2019 that his body's inability to sweat due to a war injury was proof Giuffre was lying about getting in the seats with him. Now, here's the thing. What war injury would cause you not to sweat? David, my brother, who has seen battle, who has been deployed. Can you explain this to me? And thank you for your service, David. But can you tell me what kind of injury you can get that would cause you not to be able to sweat, to perspire?
As far as I know, there isn't one.
Exactly. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. This is not like this is a fight between Joker and Batman, and then Joker falls into a vat of nuclear waste and suddenly becomes the Joker. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like he was out there fighting because he says it's a war injury, and I wonder what kind of war he saw. You know what I mean? I wonder what kind of action he actually saw. Or was he just sitting on the side watching other people die whilst drinking out of fine china with his pinky up, drinking some tea and some biscuits? That's what I'd like to know. Because apparently when you go to war, you get injuries that cause you not to be able to produce sweats all over your body. Please.
When they had Prince Harry there, I was deployed, and he wasn't allowed to leave his little base, and we had to provide protection for him several times. So,
of course. So he's eating biscuits and pinky up and drinking his, drinking out of fine china that they travel with, tea and crumpets, and pinky up, That's the entire time. But now he has an injury that he got from war, from battle, that is causing him not to produce sweat. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Mims, make it make sense. This is terrible. I've never met the girl. Bam. Oh, I have a war injury that causes me not to sweat. Okay, sure. Did you see action, bruh? Or were you off on the sidelines just watching and rooting for your team? Sorry, but that's the question. So here's the thing. Let's continue a little bit more into this article and we'll move on. But here it is. Prince Andrew's attorneys have rejected the request for medical records, claiming it is harassing and seeks confidential and private information, the court documents show. Of course. Isn't that what we need? Of course it is confidential and private information. It is not harassing. If you are going on to a nationally televised, viewed interview and you claim that you do not have the ability to sweat, I would want to see it too. Especially if you're trying to get justice for what happened to you. Wouldn't you? I would stop at nothing to get those reports. Nothing. I'd be like, come on, man. You say you don't sweat. Show me the Carfax, baby. In fact, show me where you got injured. What is the injury that you got that caused you not to sweat? Did you inhale some sort of mustard gas or something? And suddenly that a side effect causes you, it just clogs up your sweat glands and causes you not to sweat when you're committing a crime with a 17-year-old girl?
So I
Question,
actually looked this up just because I was curious.
please.
From what I can tell, you can only sustain a limited ability to lose sweating if a local gland is damaged by intense fire or something of that nature, like
Excuse
a
me.
yeah,
Say that again. An intense fire.
yeah,
Okay, hold
or
on, hold
something
on,
of that nature.
hold on, or something of that nature, right? Something heavily traumatizing to the body. Now, does he look like a burn victim to you or no? I'm
No.
sorry. Let's take because this is when he met her, or that he didn't meet her, but he did meet her, but he didn't, but he did, but he didn't. High key, low key. So look at this photo one last time. Hold on. We going. Oh no. Hold on. I'm just gonna do this. There it is, right there in your face. And tell me, take a really good look at his face and tell me, does he look like a burn victim to you?
And the only other
Let
thing,
me see.
no, I was looking for rashes or anything. No, there's no rashes, no burns, nothing that seems that would cause it at all.
Fair
And
enough.
even if it did, it would only be within that location because we have a million or hundreds of thousands of sweat glands at least.
Yes. So you're telling me he don't sweat nowhere? Not nowhere? So this girl gives out these details. These details, which great details, obviously. She remembers it like it was yesterday because obviously it was heavily traumatic for her. She's seeking justice to the situation. Sorry, I'm still weak on you going, let me see. But anyway, you got somebody who is claiming he cannot produce one droplet of sweat because of a war injury. Man, can somebody please throw him under the damn jail, under the prison, throw away the key? Because this is the only, apparently, if I'm correct, David, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the only case that he's catching because she is not in America. She's in Australia. Correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Bang! There are plenty of other women that apparently have stepped out and have come forward and said, yes, he did these heinous things to me. And guess what? All of them he's protected by, except this one. And yet still to this day, he is saying he ain't never met this girl in his life. Ain't never met this girl in his life. And that apparently he's a burn victim because he can't produce not one droplet of sweat. Or apparently, he says, at a time, there was a time where I could not produce sweat because of a war injury. Now, this is the question. What did he do that cured his anhydrosis? What was the thing that cured him to be able to sweat again? Because apparently he says, at that time, I couldn't sweat. So now he can sweat. But back then in 2001, he couldn't because he was at war or something like that. Does that make sense to you? Mims. Math ain't mathing, y'all. Math ain't mathing. But to me, it's just hilarious. It's hilarious, but but the hilarity, right? The comedy, the comical side of it all dissipates quickly. Because here's the thing. Here's the reality of it all. He could get away with this. There's a strong possibility he could walk. He could literally kick rocks, y'all, with ease. because he is a royal. Let that sink in. We could laugh all day long about this, right? About him not having the ability to sweat, right? We could laugh about that all day long, but here it is. Here's the hard truth. He could walk. If Giuffre's lawyers are not incredibly skilled, dope ass esquires out here, this man could literally walk unscathed. You got JE, him dead. You got GM, she about to see the rest of her natural life inside of prison. And this piece of trash right here, who says he never met this girl in his life, could walk free and live on the rest of his life free as a bird. All because of semantics. All because of, I didn't meet her. Or all because of a lie saying, I can't sweat. Just so you know, I don't have the ability to sweat at that time. So that detail is wrong.
I've got images of him sweating too.
Oh, send them over, baby. Because we need to take a look at those.
And all the British news sources are coming down on him hard. That's where I'm finding everything.
This is frustrating, y'all. Because this woman, and also many other women that were involved with this gentleman and other rich, elite 1%ers that were a part of this ring, are not getting the justice that they rightfully deserve. Yes, they got a little justice with GM. Sure. It's fantastic news that she was found guilty. I'm happy as hell about that. But at the same time, if we can get everyone in the prisons, why the hell not? Just saying. Let's see. Did you send me some of those of him sweating?
I sent you the main article.
Nice.
The best picture to see it, I think, is like in the middle. He's in a white shirt, and you can just see it glistening off his wet hair and face.
Oh, because apparently he doesn't sweat no more. Hold on, I got a super chat too. Jacqueline Anderson. Hello, Jacqueline Anderson. Hello. It's been a long time. Happy New Year to you, and I hope you're having a good day as well. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you. Because most likely this show won't even be monetized. Watch, knowing our luck, because can't say certain things, can't talk about certain things, and that's what sucks about it. But anyway, I needed to bring light to this conversation because it's much needed. But anyway, let's take a look at the this thing you were saying. He's perspiring. Yes, I don't sweat. Actually, I'm gonna play that too. Why not? Because that's just hilarious to me. He even says it right here, I think.
So you're absolutely sure that you're at home on the 10th of March. Yeah. She was very specific about that night. Mm-hmm. She described dancing with you and you profusely sweating, and that she went on to have bath, possibly.
There's a slight problem with the sweating because I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time, and that was yes, I didn't sweat at the time because I had suffered what I would describe as an overdose of adrenaline in the Falklands War when I was shot at, and I simply it was almost impossible for me to sweat, and it's only because I have done a number of things in the recent past that I'm starting to be able to do that again. So.
Okay, hold up. I'm sorry, David. I know we went off the beaten path a little bit, but I'm so glad that you sent me this because he said, "Oh no, it is adrenaline. I have adrenaline, and there was an overdose of adrenaline in my body, and I can't sweat. Or at the time, I can't sweat, but now I can." What? Okay, hold up. He said adrenaline, baby. Oh, so adrenaline makes you overdose adrenaline? I'm sorry. Hold up. This is amazing. Hold up. He's so stupid. You stupid, PA. PA, you stupid. Okay. Allegedly. Stupid.
I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time. And that was, oh, actually, yes. I didn't sweat at the
He's like, no.
time because I had suffered what I would describe as an overdose of adrenaline in the Falklands War.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, how do you have an overdose of adrenaline? I'm sorry. Oh, the stupidity is killing me. Okay, so you're telling me that he was ODing on adrenaline. Homeboy was ODing on adrenaline. So then, like Tom Cruise can't sweat either because he's an adrenaline junkie, right? Evil Knievel probably didn't sweat either too, because the Falklands War, the walls in Falklands War, can't sweat anymore. Like, come on, David. Come on.
I sweat the most when I mountain bike, and that's probably one of the most adrenaline things I do.
I mean, shoot, when you're doing a lot, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you're busy doing a lot of different things, there's a lot of activities you sweat from that are exhilarating, if you get what I'm saying. So you cannot tell me that this Falklands War that he was at, the Falklands War that he had, gave him an overdose of adrenaline. An overdose of adrenaline. That does not make any sense, y'all.
Found adrenaline can cause you to have a cold sweat. It doesn't seem to stop you from sweating, though. And I did a little more looking. So unless it's a congenital thing, meaning that he's had it since birth,
he said
got it from his parents, and he still has it, there's no real chance that his whole body would not be able to sweat. Yeah, I mean, I've looked through several articles, so it just seems completely fabricated. That doesn't seem to be a thing that happens in the way he's describing it. You can lose regional ability to sweat to a small location for a short period of time, but anything like he's describing would either require fire or intense heat damage, is what it says, or a congenital defect, mutation at birth, basically, which he doesn't have because he still wouldn't be able to sweat. He wouldn't just suddenly lose that mutation.
Okay, so there's photos of him sweating, right?
Yeah.
Are these the ones that you're talking about down below?
Let me see.
Him like dancing?
Best, it was a little lower, was the best one, I thought.
Which one? The one right here?
You can see him glistening there, but I think it's one more down, like two more down, maybe. Yeah, that one right there.
I mean, he's definitely having a good time, and he's definitely he looks properly glazed with sweat. You know what I mean? He seems to sparkle.
Yeah, his shirt's getting a little see-through too.
You know what I'm saying? He doesn't look dry. Because you're telling me he dry. Sandpaper. Dry. But he says, no. At the time, yeah, actually, yes. No, can't sweat. No ability to sweat. I can't. And if he gets away with this, like I said, if he gets away with this, unbelievable, y'all. He was in the Falklands War, and because he was drinking tea so aggressively, he had an overdose of adrenaline. That's literally what happened. He's sitting on the sidelines, seeing that they're going to flank, and all that crap. And next thing you know, whilst drinking his tea and eating his biscuits, he has an overdose of adrenaline. I wonder if he was like frothing at the mouth. Maybe he fell on the ground. He started convulsing. You know what I'm saying? Because of this overdose of adrenaline, which just shut off one of his most natural things that the human body does, which sends out secretions out of every orifice of your skin. So, okay. That is new to me. That is new to me, y'all. I didn't know you can have a OD on adrenaline and then suddenly you can't sweat no more. And then when a girl who has been taken advantage of uses a piece of information, the one thing you go for is you say, no, I can't sweat. And oh, by the way, no, I ain't met this girl in my life. Okay.
Yeah.
Ain't
I'm
never
pretty
met a girl in my life. And
Sometimes
yet,
people.
Yep. Never met her though. Wish I never met her. You know what I'm saying? Some Carl Thomas. Nobody. Maybe I'm the only one that knows that song. But anyway, he probably wishes he never met her, like Carl Thomas, right? But anyway, go ahead.
Let's see. I forgot what I was going to say, honestly.
It's okay. We got to move on to our final and our final topic of the day. But here it is, y'all. Like I said, this is sad because here's the reality of it all. You have somebody who is claiming something like this, and he's got money, he's got power, he's got influence. He can buy and pay for the best. He can pay for the best of lawyers to defend him. I hope that they mess up royally. Ha! See what I did there? No, I really do. Because here's the thing. This is another dude that's going to get away with this kind of crap. All seriousness, all jokes aside, if he gets away with this is bad. Because here's the thing. There's other people out here that should be thrown under the damn bus as well. Under the damn prison as well. And they're getting away with this crap too. There are people on this list that need to be brought in for questioning and talked about as well. And they are not. They are pretty much free right now until somebody comes out and speaks the truth. So we'll see what happens, y'all. We'll keep an eye out on this one.
Oh, right. What I was going to say was that as far as adrenaline overdose goes, it's not really a thing. No one calls it that for one thing, but people do on occasion have like heart attacks and battles and things like that, and that is usually due to adrenaline. So that's kind of what happens. If you get more adrenaline than your body can handle, your heart beats too fast, and then you have a heart attack. That's what happens when you have too much adrenaline, or you start shaking, you lose the ability to think, you don't stop sweating.
Yeah, you die.
Yeah,
just saying. Or you have the possibility of death. Okay, the possibility of death. Let's keep it real.
People will pass out to keep their body balanced at that point.
Right. Not the inability to sweat. I'm sorry. It just doesn't work for me. And like I said, hopefully they can look at this and say, this dude lying, this dude capping, throw him into court, try him in front of a jury of his peers, find him guilty, and throw him in prison for as long as he lives, period. Because he's done this not only to this woman, but plenty of other women as well. So we need to bring justice without a shadow of a doubt to not only just to Giuffre, but to every other woman that dealt with this man and other men and women too that were involved with GM and JE. But moving on to the next story. This was a short one. It's our last story of the day, but I thought it was interesting. Shout out to Infinite content and Mr. T and everybody. I've been getting this a lot. This particular viral video, and I felt like we needed to talk about it. Okay, we definitely need to talk about it because I find it very, very strange. Before we get into it, here it is. Watch till the end. Drunk, racist man and woman mad because this black man that we're going to see here shortly is a gold or diamond Hilton member and therefore gets service before anyone else. Hotel staff just sitting by and letting the racist woman do whatever. Mind you, she already touched him prior. So this is obviously in the middle of all this craziness, of all this madness that has already transpired before this particular individual pressed record. So I just wanted to make that abundantly clear before we jump all the way into the nitty gritty of this ish. It's fascinating because you'll just see what they do. It's insane. So let's take a look at this clip.
Y'all haven't de-escalated the situation because she's still right there, still talking. Y'all supposed to separate the party. No. Oh, hey.
Wow.
Oh my God. Oh. So he did it. Yep, you got it. Yep, I get it. It's all on camera. This is all on camera. He touched him. She touched him. It's all on camera. Everything is camera. Everything is on camera. Everything is on camera. Yes, everything is on camera. Everything is on camera. They didn't de-escalate the situation.
Now, what's interesting to me, because it's going to continue, but here it is. He got knocked the out. Real talk. Knocked out. Okay. Dude gone. Dude went night. Okay. Now, here's the thing. First off, I'll say this too. Thank God he didn't put his hands on the woman. I'm going to say that. Like, I'm very surprised he didn't do anything about like even maybe pushing her off or anything. He went straight for the dude. That's number one. That's the one thing I noticed. We're going to continue here. But the thing I find very interesting is that they have not once tried to pull the two away. They didn't, like the security or the staff here. They just let them stand in the same area with each other this entire time. And the thing is that this black man here, dude over here with the red baseball cap, has a certain, he paid for a certain membership so he can cut the line, that he can go and do what he needs to do. That's what he paid for, so he can get through all the BS and just do what he needs to do. Probably the dude travels a lot, probably, right? But they didn't even bother to try to pull this man away. Or pull these two away. They keep him in this corner. For what reason?
By moving the parties away, they still let her be right there. Why y'all still get her under? Where is y'all security? Get her under control. Yeah, they need to. Oh my God, I don't understand this. This is crazy. Where's y'all security? No, because this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable, and y'all still having to restrain her. Don't come over here, baby girl. Baby girl, I'm not him. Hold on, because I'll grab her right by the neck. Girl, well, I'm not him. But they need to restrain her. It's not us. We're not. I saw everything so good. She's mad, but I need a room key.
I'm sorry. I am so sorry. But here it is, y'all. They get mad because this man pays a membership in which he can go and cut the line and get up in front at the front of the desk, at the front desk, and do what he needs to do. That is the privilege in which he pays for. Just like when you go to the TSA and you're going through the metal detectors and you see a bunch of people just walk right by you, and you're like, why does he get to, she's going to, but she's going, why are they going before us? We're stuck in this line because these guys pay a monthly membership to get through a special area. That's it. He pays a membership to be able to do what he needs to do. He ain't breaking no laws. He ain't doing anything wrong. And these two drunk individuals are losing their damn minds, trying to start a fight with this dude who's minding his own damn business. And I mean, the part that gets me is this right here. When this girl has the audacity, straight up the audacity, to just grab him by the face. Look at that. By the face, y'all. Woo! And instead of directing his, his response to her, he punches her man. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Is that a gentleman move? I think that's a gentleman move. I'm sorry. She grabbed him by the face. Do you understand that? By the face. It looked like she was trying to pull at his dreads. And instead of him like shoving her away or anything of that sort, he just knocks the dude clean out. That's a gentleman's move, I think. I'm joking, but still, he could have put some damage on her. Real talk. I don't condone that. I don't, but he could have, and he didn't. Now the other thing is too. I see. Somebody just said M69 just said control your chick. Yeah, fellas out here. I'm gonna let that roll. Fellas out here. Here it is. I get it. We all have our significant others, and some of us like the firecracker type of partner, right? It's a lot of fun when it needs to be fun. But when it turns into something like this, I'm serious. Y'all, you need to be the person, the voice of reason, right? With your loved one. Because there's dudes out here that lose their minds too. And the girls will just sit there and go, just stand there like, and not do anything while the guy loses his mind. And then next thing you know, he's shot or killed, or you know what I'm saying? Or he's arrested, right? And he made an ass out of himself, and he made an ass out of you. So this is a full-on lesson for all of us, right? On both sides of the fence. It's not about quote unquote controlling your girl or controlling your man. It's called being a voice of reason for your loved one. And hopefully, if you have a smart one, right? If you have a real one on your arm, man or woman, they listen to you and they calm the F down. I don't know how many countless videos I've seen where there be the dude's getting all like Brody, you know what I mean? He wants to get all like, peacock feathers up and he's ready to go. And everyone's doing this all the time. Their arms are out like this and their neck is out. Their face is out in front of them like, what do you want, man? Come on, bro. Let's do it, bro. And then you got the girlfriend going, babe. Not even saying anything. They're just in the background quietly going, babe, no, babe. Instead of just going, babe, stop. Wake up. Don't do this. Right? As partners, we have a certain amount of responsibility to take care of our own, especially keeping them out of harm's way or getting knocked the out like this, right? Because that's pretty emasculating. I'm sorry. So it's not about controlling your girl or controlling your man. It is being a voice of reason. And of course, if he really needs you or if they really need you, you stand up and you protect them. That's your partner, right? Now, I don't know how this all transpired in the very beginning of this and all that, but here it is. He should have grabbed his girl and said, hey, honey, chill out. Stop. All that. But he didn't do anything about that. He just let her fly off the hinges. And guess what happens? He's the one knocked out on the ground, looking like a fool with his pants on the ground. David, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's I mean, partially seemed like they got what they deserved, but at the same time, he's got to be careful because he might end up getting into trouble. Since I agree with the principle that you don't hit a woman. You
No.
more likely just hit the guy with her. But at the same time, the guy didn't touch him first. The woman did. So if he breaks up with her and decides to sue on his own, that's probably going to go through. But yeah. So I mean, he's opened himself up to a lawsuit here. But I don't necessarily disagree with what he did.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, I would be pissed off too, especially like, listen, no one has the right to touch my body, period. And he only said words. He was throwing out words. That's all he was doing. He didn't push them from what we saw in this video. Like I said, we don't know what happened in the beginning before they hit record. All we see is the video in itself right here. And here it is. This girl is wild. And you can see that. That is on that man, her boyfriend or husband or whoever he is, her significant other. It is his responsibility to step up and say, babe, chill. Just like if the shoe was on the other foot and it was him losing his mind and her just kind of drunk. Clearly, they had a little bit too many. But the thing is one of y'all has to be the level-headed individual. And of course, both of y'all need to listen to each other. That's the most important part. If you ain't listening to each other, then shoot, what's the point of the relationship? Clearly the dude, and I see in this, to me, I see a dynamic of clearly this is a relationship where he lets her do whatever the hell he wants, and he just sits there and goes, okay, babe. That's what it seems like to me. But like I said, I don't know the dynamics of the relationship or anything of that sort, but I see something like this, and it's your responsibility to listen to your partner and also be there for your partner in both ways. One, where it's like, hey, sweetheart, you're trying to fight this man for no reason. You're drunk, chill. And also, hey, the hell you say to my wife, or hey, hell you say to my partner, you stand up. But you always try to leave the situation as a gentleman, or just to keep it even keeled, you walk away as an upstanding adult, a responsible individual, period. That's it, y'all. Be smart out here. Stop doing stupid stuff like this. I've seen so many things like this where it's just like homeboy or homegirl had just way too many, and then next thing you know, no one handles it. And then let's talk about this too real quick. The Hilton did not handle this properly at all. Not at all whatsoever. They could have easily pulled them apart, took them somewhere else. She could have, or the staff could have directed her somewhere completely different, and they did not. Look at this. They allow her to get up into his face and grab his face. Look at this. Watch. One last time. She walks right over to him. Staff doesn't even do anything until she has her hands fully on his face. Come on, man. That stuff is unforgivable. So no matter what, both sides of the fence, both sides of the spectrum are going to be looking at lawsuits without a shadow of a doubt. They will be looking at lawsuits without a shadow of a doubt, because here's the thing. That woman should not have put her hands on that dude. And that Hilton staff should have done everything they could to quell that situation, and they did not. They just thought, oh, she's a half-naked woman. No big deal. She's just a half-naked woman. No. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Nope. They should have tried to push that situation somewhere else and let their gold or diamond member check in or do whatever he needed to do so that he can have a wonderful stay at that particular Hilton hotel. Anyway, guys, that is the show today, y'all. I appreciate all y'all for being on today. It's a lot of fun. Lots of stuff to talk about. Apparently, if you OD on adrenaline, you don't sweat. Fun information out here, y'all. Fun information. And of course, if you can, I most likely will be pulling out this that particular story about Harmony Montgomery here shortly. So please, if you can, go share it. If you can, get the word out there about this young girl, the 7-year-old girl. Unbelievable. Can't even believe that is even a story that we're talking about, right? And that we even covered. But there is another story kind of like that one that I will be covering hopefully tomorrow or today if I have time. Today's a busy one for me today. But anyway, I appreciate all y'all for being on. I really do appreciate it. David, thank you so much for being on, as always.
Yeah, it was a good show today, as always.
It was a good one. It was fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Isn't there a song called Sweat? Yeah, there's like an old 80s song. Sweat, baby. Let the rhythm take control. Let the rhythm move you. Sweat. Okay, anyway. Old school. But apparently, PA doesn't listen to that song. He doesn't listen to that song. He doesn't. Hollywood 2000. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Thank you so very, very much. It means a lot. You are amazing. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you, Hollywood. You're the bomb. But anyway, guys, it is time to get going, okay? Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button down below. Crush that subscribe button. And I'll be seeing you guys soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Talk to you guys soon. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
You're going to perform tonight. I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is going to leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. For more information, call us now.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.